Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. An older adult in the United States is treated in an emergency room for an injury related to a fall every 11 seconds. And every 19 minutes, a senior dies from a fall. Those accidents are the leading cause of fatal injury for older adults, but there are ways to prevent those injuries from taking place and to raise seniors' confidence and self-esteem along the way. We want to welcome in Chris Glenn, a physical therapist from Cox Health. Chris, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So how can you all work with older adults to make sure these falls don't even happen?
You know, as a PT, I see a wide variety of individuals, different walks of life, different diagnoses, but one of the common denominators, the common thread that I see in a lot of my patients is inactivity, leading a sedentary lifestyle. The old saying is true, you lose it if you don't use it. Over time, when someone is more sedentary, things happen. My muscles tighten, they shorten, and that's going to affect my posture, my stability, the way that I walk, the way that I move. Muscle weakness also, and so the weaker my legs, the more difficult it is to walk, to keep my balance, to transfer, to do things that we do each and every day. And so the bottom line is that I've got to get my patients to get up and to move, to be active, walking, some form of exercise, just to stay active. Because again, the stronger my legs are, better balance, easier it is to walk.
For sure. Now, what are some of the exercises that you do with your seniors that come in before an accident takes place to prevent anything like this from happening?
You know, we work on a number of things, a stationary that to work on stamina, endurance. I work on just strengthening exercises on the lower extremities, the major muscle groups. One of my favorite exercises is just a sit to stand. It's functional. We do it each and every day, but it works my quadricep muscles. So just depending on after the evaluation, what areas we need to strengthen. You know, we work on strengthening, we work on your endurance, your stamina, work on balance, just a number of things. But again, the more active the person is, the better the balance and the stronger they're going to be.
And a lot of questions people might have are, they might think some of their loss of balance might be due to them just getting older. But, you know, in addition to getting older, a lot of people are less active. What would you say to those individuals who think, you know, I'm just losing my balance because I'm getting older? Is that necessarily true?
Not at all. And I hear this all the time. You know, people say, well, this is just part of growing old. Buy into that. I don't believe that, and I don't want your viewers to think that way either. It's never too late. You know, we can work on the flexibility, gaining range of motion in the legs. We can strengthen your legs, and it will not only give you an improved quality of life, but just to keep me out of the hospital. The numbers that you indicated early on in this segment, I mean, those numbers are staggering, and it really is an epidemic in our country. Affecting millions of people each and every year, resulting in injuries and deaths. So it's never too late to get started, and I just encourage everyone to get up, start moving, and exercise, and have a better quality of life.
For sure. And like I was telling you before we started taping this segment, you know, this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I did have a family member that recently fell and broke her pelvis in her own home. And I know for a lot of older adults, you know, there's a fear that's associated with this. They're scared that they're going to fall. They think that, you know, someone might not find them for a long time, and, you know, it really impacts their quality of life. Just tell some success stories of folks that you've been able to work with on how it's improved really their mental outlook. It's got to make them feel, you know, just so much better about themselves, to feel more stable.
Oh, absolutely. And you brought up a great point. And one of the biggest barriers is fear. Especially when someone falls, they lose their balance. They're fearful that they're going to fall again. There's a fear of not discussing this with their physician or their family members. There's often associated embarrassment or guilt. They're ashamed. But I've done this job for 20 years, and I mean, the success stories, not because of me as a therapist, but just because the individual had the desire. They made that decision to become more active, to exercise, to walk. Activity will not only give you strength, and it will improve your balance, but it also gives you confidence. And that's the best part about my job is I get to work with wonderful people, but to see the confidence come back to that they can resume activities, hobbies that they enjoy, being out with their family, grandkids, out shopping, out in the community. I mean, that's the best part of my job.
Definitely. Now, for folks that are at home that think, they might be some people that could benefit from what your services are, what's a typical physical therapy balance evaluation like when folks come into your office?
We look at a number of things on the evaluation. We're looking at the range of motion, how flexible the individual is. I look at muscle strength, particularly in their legs, because as we indicated, I need strong legs in order to transfer, to walk, to keep my balance. I check sensation. A lot of my folks, patients, they have neuropathy or diabetes, into how they walk and how much active they are, and then with poor sensation, it makes it more difficult to keep their balance. We do a walking assessment, and then I do a balance assessment. But after that's all done, then I like to sit with my patients and I ask their goals, what they're interested in, what they want to accomplish in therapy, and then together we put together a plan of care. And it doesn't come quickly. Conservative. I tell my patients it will take you a good 6 to 8 weeks to have a noticeable change. The great news is that there can be a change, and again, you can improve your strength, your walking, your balance, and you can have a better quality of life.
For sure. And we have a couple seconds left here. Chris, before we let you go, how can folks at home that are interested get in contact with Cox Health to set up an evaluation and get into the program?
That's a great question. And Missouri is not a direct access, so we work directly under the supervision of a physician. So all you have to do is call your doctor and make the appointment. And then as you meet with that physician, he or she, you can inquire about therapy, and the physician will send the order to us, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Chris Glenn, a physical therapist with Cox Health. Chris, thanks so much for coming on the show today to talk about a topic that is really, really important.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.